Welcome to another edition of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of amazing entrepreneurs like Akili King with Young Executives LLC. Young Entrepreneurs LLC.
Yes.
Young Entrepreneurs LLC. Man, how you doing, man?
Well, yourself?
Good, good, good. I appreciate it. You know, this show is all about featuring amazing stories by amazing entrepreneurs. And what you're doing is you're taking younger kids and kind of showing them the way for entrepreneurship. But tell us a little, in your words, man, a little bit more what you're doing.
Well, it all started when I tried out with the 49ers back in 1997, and I got to NFL camp and I realized it was business. I'd spent all my life training for football, workouts, running, coaching, so on and so forth, and not once during that entire time did I learn anything about the business part of it. So,
and nobody bothered to teach you anything about the business.
No.
So it was all about the game.
It's all about the game.
But nothing about the business side of it.
Business side of it. The only thing you heard was how big the contracts were. Right? And that becomes kind of a blinding light for young athletes. So when I was given the opportunity I tried once at Oregon State to teach the athletes. We did a startup weekend event there. Right. Just the only one that's ever been done by a university athletic program, which was a phenomenal success. But I had to go back to the Army. Army had let me go to school for like 6 months, and in 6 months we did the startup weekend event. And then when I finally got out of the Army, I started coaching football because I just needed time to decompress. After 4 combat deployments, life's a little different. And I tried to work a normal job, and I lasted 3 weeks. I was like, okay, this isn't working. So I said, what do I love doing? How do I want to make the most impact? And I just went back essentially to, how can I help kids? How can I be an example, but give them an opportunity, a safe place to explore entrepreneurship and business development and sales without worrying about making a mistake.
So you're trying to connect those kids with mentors to teach them a little bit about entrepreneurship, about sales and all that stuff?
Actually, what we do is our company partners with an existing company or an existing entrepreneur.
Wonderful. Yeah, okay.
And they interview the company, figure out their mission, who's their customer, what does that customer value, what results are they looking for, and then the kids turn back and they do marketing and they set appointments. So basically they become the prospecting / sales marketing arm for existing companies, and for any deal that gets closed, the kids they can take the cash, or they can take the money and put it away for college.
That's amazing. You completely blew my mind, because that model, I talk to a lot of people, Akili, and I have yet to hear something that comes in and we're even close to the model that you're applying right now. How did you come up with it?
Well, the first thing is, how do you get kids interested in anything, right? You tell kids, go get a job, and because of child labor laws,
Sure.
What do you have? They go work at McDonald's. They work at and I'm not saying that's not relevant, but $10 an hour, right? I was like, oh, how about just letting them share a piece of the pie as long as they do the work? Right. It's not fast. It's not fast money, right? You're gonna fall down, right? A lot of people don't know, out of what, maybe 3% of anybody you talk to, they're ready to buy at any one time. 7% are open to it. Everybody else is kind of in between. Right? Those are life lessons that are going to carry on as they go out into the business world, whatever they decide to do. But you use the money as kind of like a carrot initially, and then you inject reality to it.
How are you teaching these kids to handle rejection? If you are in a marketing and a sales capacity, that's one of the things that you're going to get hit on the face all the time, right? Bam, no, 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 no. And they're in their growing stage, right? They're still learning. Right. And I guess what I want to equate is the discipline that you obtain in the Army, being a football player, being in a very disciplined structure. Right. Do you apply that to teaching these kids how to handle rejection, how to comport themselves?
Yes and no. I give them a lot more freedom. I tell them, guys, this is big boy rules. These are grown-up rules right now.
Right.
Okay. But we also start off with mindset. Actually, one of the companies we just partnered with was a former hedge fund technology guy and an NFL, 10-year NFL vet. They have a mindfulness company with an app and facilitator training, right? So I had them come down and train the kids first. I had them go through the mindfulness training to learn how to enjoy the experience and not get attached to what's not in your control. So you start with the mindset, right? Because everybody else is telling them what to do, how to do it, so on and so forth.
Sure.
And then they also get a chance to revert back to be little kids every now and then. I don't really let them revert back to be little. I just kind of give them a nudge. I'm like, so, like, if you perform, you get to set yourself up for the future. If you don't perform, then you've learned a lesson that you can take with you. I use a lot of analogies from, like, because I coach football.
Sure.
And it's real simple. We come up with a game plan every time, for every game.
Yeah.
We study, we do all the work. But when we run a play, it doesn't work every time, right? And when that play's done, that play's done. Go to the next play. If you're worrying about the last play, you're going to be able to do the next play.
Or improvise.
Exactly, right? And so that's how I do it. And it's not a fast process by any means.
Sure.
But it's, why not learn now when you don't have a lot to lose?
And that is a cool thing, because one of the myths that is going on right now, right, with social media, with media in general, is that media is trying to glamorize entrepreneurship, right, and making it seem as though it's very easy to do, that anybody could be an entrepreneur, and it can be very fast, and the money is going to come real fast. But you are actually getting those kids in that mindset. Hey, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you're going to be a salesman, you have to learn patience. You have to learn all these values. This is the game plan. Don't expect results very quickly. No. You might fail, but then again, we're here to train you to succeed.
Another analogy I love to use is, I said, first I ask them, how long does it take a baby to walk? A little bit of time. And if they play sports, I'm like, so how long did it take for you to become a starter in your sport? Right? By the time they get to high school and they're in Pee Wee, they weren't that great. And then by the time they get to high school, not everybody's a first string guy. Right? Like not everybody's going to be a starter right off the bat. How much practice, time, and effort and energy? One of the things I tell kids is, if you watch a football game from play to play, it's only about 9 minutes of actually action. 9 minutes.
Oh.
That's it. 9 minutes of you running and hitting and jumping and tackling. But think how many hours we spend practicing
for those 9 minutes.
For those 9 minutes of performance.
Amazing, sure.
And they go, oh, I never thought about that. I'm like, yeah, really, buddy? So that makes it, being a coach helps a lot.
I have a question. How do you select these kids? Because as much as they are interviewing the company, how do you select these kids? Do you have a selection process?
I assess. So everybody likes to give kids a syllabus, and I tell kids there's no syllabus for life. Like, there's not, right? So the first 4 months, I just give them assignments, and I don't give them a whole bunch of direction. And so, for example, we had 20 kids, and 20 kids show up. Out of those 20, we had 7 or 8 engaged. Out of those 7 or 8 that are engaged, there's 3 leaders. I work with the leaders so they can help coach the other guys. And you have to be flexible, because school systems aren't really set up to handle this type of training and experience. Right. So I'm pretty patient, and
this is an amazing program. And do you have it just in one school? Are you planning to take this throughout the state here in Arizona?
That's
nationwide?
what we're looking at the state.
Right.
Well, start.
You got to start. Yep, you got to start
locally. Yep. And then move to other schools based off relationships. I've been lucky enough to have some really good relationships, and one of the entrepreneurs that we're partnering with has phenomenal relationships. So it's really, let's test, refine, test, refine, test, refine. And then after that, then we can go and license it to other schools, right?
How much success have you had so far? Are you keeping track? Are you measuring the success you have with these kids?
Right now, in terms of actually getting sales, we have one $5,000 training in the hole. So they're just waiting to pull the trigger, right?
Oh, that's good. That's good.
But it's okay. There's no rush.
You sound like a man who's got passion for this thing and patience, because anytime that you're working with somebody that is just growing up with kids, you're teaching them you have to be patient yourself and you have to have passion for what you're doing, man. My respect, man. That's just awesome. That's just awesome.
Thank
and
you.
Anything that we can do here at the Office Pile to enhance and to make sure that dream, whatever you're doing, just continues to grow, man. You just utilize our resources, man. I mean, it'll be great to, in fact, maybe get a couple of those kids and have them come over to the show. Maybe a team of those kids coming over to the show, and maybe we'll talk.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome, so they can get a little bit of an experience of what it is to be in front of a camera and being interviewed and all that stuff.
They would love that.
I think that'll be a lot of fun, man. We'll talk about it, and we'll make that happen for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you being here. Amazing entrepreneur. I tell you, passion like this is amazing, Tom. And with that, we're out.
Welcome to the remix. Prestige.